Welcome to RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Whether you're watching on Racing America or catching it on the YouTube channel, we do appreciate it. You can find all that information at RaceDayNation.com. You're also going to find our newsletter. Please sign up for that. We'll be sending that out here shortly. We're kind of getting the database built, and then for next year when we come back out for the new season of the new year, racing season, we can get into all that stuff. So that's just one of the things that we got going on the website. You're going to find news, rumors up there, results, points. It's all going to be up there from all of our different partners, including TobyChristie.com. So you can check that out. Again, our website is RaceDayNation.com. You can follow along with me at Rob D'Amico. That's ROBDAMICO on social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that great stuff. Don't forget, the show is presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Thank you for those guys for joining on with us. We do appreciate it. All right. We're talking about, well, first of all, we're going to hit the F1 news and rumors we got coming up later on in the show. They are heading back to Singapore for the first time since 2019. We're going to get into all that. There's some driver announcements being made, some silly season seat switching going on over there. We'll get into all that. But first, we want to head over to Texas, where the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the Cup Series guys were racing out there. And listen, they put on a good show. The Xfinity, I thought, was a good. I didn't get to watch too much of it, but we did see that Noah Gragson did win. We'll get into all that coming up here in a little bit. It was nice to see. Went 4 in a row, tied a record or broke the record, tied a record with Sam Ard, which was kind of cool. We'll have to see if he could break that. I just find that record hard, knowing, what Jimmy Johnson was able to do in the Cup Series and the wins and, doing so many in a row, and even the championships, winning those in a row. I just, it shows you how hard it is on a week-to-week basis to win in that series, in the Xfinity Series. Very competitive, no doubt about that. So we'll get into that. Also, switch gears, move over to the Cup side a little bit. I saw all the trouble with the tires. Man, I don't think anybody saw that coming with Texas Motor Speedway and the speed that they were running and the force that we're putting on those tires. And again, I don't blame everyone. Everybody's wanting to point the finger at Goodyear, and I don't think it's totally their fault, not yet at least, because these teams will do whatever it takes to find that little bit of advantage and speed out of those tires, whether it's the low pressure, maybe it's a camber or caster kind of thing going on with the car, something they're doing with the settings, whatever it may be. I don't point the finger yet at Goodyear. Goodyear only runs, they have the numbers. They see what the teams are doing. They're saying, okay, well, these are the recommended low pressures. These are the recommended high pressures. This is what you recommend with the camber, caster, all that stuff. That being said, I do think the teams are doing whatever it takes to find that little tiny bit of speed out of those cars, and they're flirting with disaster, and you can see that right now. And I think that's what NASCAR is getting a little bit of a black eye on. It also is saying the car may not be as tough as we thought this car was going into the season. But I do think that there are a few things that NASCAR, Goodyear, the teams, they're all going to have to work for during the offseason to try and find that balance. Now, the other big thing is the safety in this car. We saw the big wreck with, Cody Ware getting that big crash, hit coming out of turn 4, down the pit lane, hit the pit lane wall. Luckily, he got out of that car. Now, he did collapse on the ground. He had something going on with his ankle. I'm sure it knocked the wind out of him. It would knock the hell out of anybody, but he didn't have a concussion. He did hit that wall a ton. I mean, he could have knocked that thing down. He hit it so damn hard. Luckily, safer barrier there. Not so lucky on the infield when he came across pit lane. Luckily, nobody was on pit lane at the time or weren't paying attention when a car comes careening through pit lane and coming for a wall that, a lot of these pit guys, when nothing's going on, are sitting on that wall. Just very lucky. Nobody was injured in that. But a lot of people are talking about the safety of this car. and how it's the impact is not dissipating before it gets to the driver. You heard Martin Truex say after his crash, tire go down, hits the wall, hardest crash he's ever been in, took a beating on that one. So something's going on with the car that it is not absorbing that contact and dissipating it before it gets to the driver. So there's still a little work there. And I know a lot of guys behind the scenes that were bitching about this early in the NASCAR season, but nothing has really been done about it. And luckily, nothing has happened to anybody with serious injuries. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we are going to talk about the Xfinity Series. We're going to hear from Noah Gragson. We're going to run down your top 10. We're going to take a look at the points. We're also going to hit the NASCAR Cup Series with their results and points. We're also going to talk about F1 and the different driver silly season going on. I'm Rob D'Amico. Please stick around. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back to RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. Don't forget, you can follow me on social media at Rob D'Amico. That's ROBDAMICO on any social, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that great stuff. It's all out there. And you can get all these links on our website, RaceDayNation.com, including sign up for our latest newsletters, which will start probably after the end of this year going into next year. I'm just trying to build the database, getting ready for what we're heading into, because we hope to make this show a lot bigger, the production value better. There are some things that we knew that going into this, because we jumped in halfway through the season, we wanted to just get the show on the air and be able to get it to you guys and then build an audience for next year when we can, put some money behind it, get some big sponsors involved, and take it to the next level, because that's truly what we want to do with Racing America, with RaceDay Nation, with TobyChristie.com, all that great stuff we got going on. Also got to make mention, the show is presented by Rhino.co, the Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at Rhino.co. That's right. Check those guys out. Please do. If you're looking for any kind of cars, racing parts, tires, rims, things like that, it's all there on the classifieds. So please check those guys out. All right, we were talking about the Xfinity Series, and which I thought was a good race here. I'm trying to pull up what I have here. You saw that A.J. Allmendinger won the second stage. It was Daniel Hemrick who won the first stage. Looks to be the top, two guys were Chevys. Then there was a Toyota. First Ford was in fifth place. So a lot of stuff going on in the series that these guys seemed very competitive. Austin Hill, which I thought was a good run for him, a rookie who's in the playoffs, having a good run. Some of the guys, most of the top 10 were playoff guys, and even Ryan Sieg having a good day and turning in, what we saw some issues early. There seemed to be a lot of cautions there as well. But let's get into our top 10, the results. Like I mentioned, it was Noah Gragson. Congratulations to him getting his 6th win of the season, his 4th in a row. Pretty amazing. I mentioned it, the rookie Austin Hill, 2nd, Ty Gibbs, 3rd. We're going to talk about the Ty Gibbs team in the 54 ride. Dale Jr., the owner of Noah Gragson, talking about he thought that was the big team, the team to beat, the best team in the field. But we'll get into that here in a minute. I'll finish the rundown here. A.J. Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, and look at that. I spelled Sam wrong. Somebody let the producer know he's not doing his job. Well, that would be me. Ryan Sieg, top 10, 9th place. Congratulations to him. Got one of his guys coming by the Big Green Egg this week, picking up an egg. CJ McLaughlin, congratulations. That rounds out your top 10 there. But I thought, listen, overall, good race. We saw, Jeffrey Earnhardt get into it a little bit earlier and crash out in an accident. David Starr had an accident as well. There's some others in here that had some issues. John Hunter Nemechek, Brandon Jones, just a few, that I thought would be finishing up towards the front that did not. So very tough on those guys, unfortunately. But Noah just did a hell of a job. Seems to be at the right team, the right moment. What he's doing, everybody loves it as a character. To me, I am watching a character, but I'm a little concerned that are we watching a guy just starting to fall apart with the fame and everything that goes on behind the scenes and pulling them one way, pulling the other. Got a lot of things going on. You're going cup racing next year. You got some big shoes to fill and all this. Are you ready? I think the pressure and all this stuff, and listen, him throwing up constantly, right? I didn't see it this time in Texas, which is good. That's a beginning, right? Maybe he's trying to figure this thing out. But here he is in the media center talking about the win and the 4 wins and what it means going into the playoffs. Check this out.
Yeah, it's a great way to start off the playoffs, and really it's not about me, it's about the people and everybody who's got a helping hand into our program and getting our Bass Pro Shop Camaros to the racetrack. It's a privilege to be able to race, not only in the Xfinity Series, but for a great team like the number 9 team. So just a privilege, just very grateful, and what a way to start off the playoffs on a high note. We've been working really, really hard, and the preparation has been going really good with Luke and the rest of the team, and we're just very excited and very confident right now, and happy with where we're at.
Yeah, it's kind of funny looking at that hat on his head. He doesn't look like a cowboy hat kind of guy, does he? I don't know. Maybe it was me. It looked too big on him. I don't know. But again, he mentions his guys there, and the guys on his team are awesome. He's really building some memories with these guys, and he talks about moving on to another team next year and creating these memories and what these guys got to. And a couple of weeks ago, he was very upset. You could tell in the press room that it was getting emotional that things are about to change over there. And here he is talking about what it takes and to be in where he's at right now and heading into the playoffs.
Staying out of trouble, being patient. That was kind of the name of the game for the playoffs. I told them as a team we need to pretend like we have 0 points, like we're on the cutoff line, and we need to keep doing what we're doing. We can't bank on those extra bonus points we have because they can be gone in one race. Crazy things happen, and but we just need to keep on trying our best and being prepared when we show up, and just having a lot of fun right now.
You should be having a lot of fun because you're in victory lane, getting it done in the playoffs, leading the points. What else is there? You didn't throw up this time. At least we didn't see it, which is a good thing. All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from his boss, his owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., talking about the team, what he thinks is the best team out there right now, and just to hear his thoughts on Gragson as a character. That's all coming up next. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you on the other side of this break, so stick around. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back to RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Let's see here. We were talking about Noah winning the 4 in a row, the Xfinity. His boss, Dale Earnhardt Jr., came out and said, talked about Noah's style. I want to get into all this because I have like 3 major clips here from Dale Earnhardt Jr. joining everybody in the press room after, which was kind of funny. He walks in and he goes, before anybody says anything, he goes, I usually is this, the Cup, the Xfinity and the truck guys, do the owners come in and talk? Because he's like, I kind of want to come in and talk. And he's done it before, right? We've had some great clips of him when Noah's been in victory lane. He's been there sometimes, and then he hasn't been there and other times. But he walked in, it was like a little confused, like maybe people were looking at him funny, like, where's Noah instead of the owner? But obviously it's Dale Earnhardt Jr., so they started blurting out some questions, and he answered them. So a good sport about everything being there. Listen, he's a young owner in the sport, and he's kicking ass right now. You're damn right I'm going to sit there and talk about my team. Well, here he is talking about Noah Gragson and the style that he brings to this sport.
He's been able to grow without losing that style that we all like. And,
throwing up.
Not everybody may know how to take Noah all the time, but he is so unique that it's severely needed, right? In any kind of in any sport, you need personalities, and he's certainly an incredible personality. So he's a great asset to the sport going forward, and he seems, the whole team really seems buckled down and ready to try to capitalize on the opportunity to win a championship this year before they move up.
I think that's great. He's like, listen, these guys are ready. These guys are putting together something awesome on track right now. And he's talking about the different things. Oop, I just pulled up the same clip here. Sorry. Hey, give me 1 second here. He's talking about, just the guys, how they gel, how they're working together. They're getting it done right now. And does he think that these guys are the best team out there? Now, he's talked about before, some of the people saying, they've got to watch out for Junior. They're probably the strongest. They got the Hendrick backing, all that stuff, right? But when you looked at the field and you looked at the points, so you did have A.J. Allmendinger, who, by the way, congratulations, the champion, the regular season champion, well-deserved. Hopefully he can, fight for that championship, but which I think is between the 54 and the number 9 car. But I would love to see AJ in there battling that as well. So they asked Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the press room about who he thought was the best team out there.
I think for the first – so all year long, all the people that I've worked with in NBC have been telling me that Junior Motorsports is the best team, and I keep thinking to myself, man, when I watch the lap times and when I watch the races, I think that 54 car is the best. I just couldn't ever get comfortable. But I feel like maybe today was a moment where I finally felt like one of our cars might be the best car in the series. And so that's finally feeling real, where my booth mates and teammates at NBC have kind of been saying that all year. I just haven't felt it in my gut till today.
What a great feeling, right? Seriously. They tell you that for a reason, because they can see, they're not blinded by it. Sometimes you're in a job so long, you get the blinders on, you don't see the full picture. Well, I think he's finally seeing that full picture now, and they got a lot of stuff going on. There are rumors that team, Junior Motorsports, could be going cup racing as well. And, I don't know what they made a sister, she got a big promotion in the company. And listen, behind the scenes, she is running Junior Motorsports, and she deserves to be a bigwig there, if you will. But seriously, I think what they're setting up, what they're doing right now, could we see them go cup racing? That's a possibility. Listen, their team is strong enough to do so. They are winning races. They have the talent there, not only behind the wheel, up on the box, back at the shop, the entire, business side of it. They really got it going on. And here is Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about the strength of Junior Motorsports.
Maybe in the Xfinity garage, it is possible for a lot of teams to get strong and stay strong, kind of control the whole season. Whereas in the Cup garage, it seems to go in a much shorter rotation between strength and performance from organization to organization. So I've just been sitting here enjoying it while it lasts. And you don't know whether that performance gain or advantage you have goes away tomorrow or it's going to go away after the year. But obviously, we feel pretty happy about everything. But you don't go into the next weekend assuming that advantage is going to be there. So, but I will say this: Noah's won 4 in a row, and I don't think that he was the best car in all 4. In the last 2, he actually was just in the right place at the right time when the best cars eliminated themselves one way or another.
Take it.
And so I think that's a great sign of just maturity, not only in Noah but the whole team to be there.
No doubt. Anytime you get a win, you put a little check mark in the column there, no doubt. All right, when we take a break, when we come back, I should say, we're going to talk about the Cup results coming up. Tyler Reddick getting the win. We're going to hear from him. We got some other clips. We're also going to hear from Chase Elliott later on in the show. We're going to talk about the Cup schedule, the F1 schedule, IMSA coming up, the Hurricane. There's a lot of things going on, so stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. You're watching RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. This is RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. The show is presented by Rhino Classifieds. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on the program. We do appreciate it. And let's see here. We were talking about the Cup Series, guys. And, man, I just got back. So if I seem like I'm all over the place a little bit because We just got back in town, had to get back in the swing of things. I was out working. Obviously, I have a day job, Big Green Egg right here. We were doing a photo shoot and video shoot that was out of town. We got back late on Sunday, so we had to do the show the next day. But we got everything going. We're here today, Tuesday nights here on Racing America, so we appreciate it. Hope you're watching. If you miss a show, you can get it on their app as well for on demand. You can also go to our website, RaceDayNation.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow along with me on social media at Rob D'Amico. That's ROBDAMICO. We were talking about the Cup race at Texas. And, man, there was a lot of drama going on. A lot of cautions early. I thought some of these guys with the tire problems that they were having, going back and forth. You had, let's see here, I had Kyle Busch with a tire issue. You had, let's see here, Christopher Bell. You had Cody Ware with that hard hit. You had Chase Elliott leading the race. You had Martin Truex Jr. You had Chris Buescher. I think there were a few others that had some tire issues that had a hard day out there. There's no doubt about that. And we had the winner of the race, Tyler Reddick. I'll get into the results here in a second, but I do want to play this clip of Tyler Reddick in the press room talking about the tire issues. Was that ever on his mind? And as a driver, what are you thinking when you start seeing all these types of tire problems going on during a race?
Well, I mean, you have some sort of an idea. We, at the end of practice, we were one of a few that had some issues with the right front tire. So we knew we had some work to do, and there were some things we needed to change, maybe go up on some air pressure, that sort of thing. So it wasn't like an unknown, but certainly with the way the practice is set up, you take a chance of not running enough laps if you're working on your car a lot to really get a read on if you're too low on air pressure or too aggressive on one thing or another. But in our case, we ran enough laps and we were able to see that we had been too aggressive on our right front tire, so we made some adjustments going into the race, thankfully. But, yeah, it is tough to not really know. I mean, sometimes you have a warning. I feel like at Kansas I did, at Charlotte I did, Fontana a little bit, but it's very subtle. I mean, you get a little bit looser, the car starts to have a slight vibration, but a lot of times the vibrations I had tonight were very, very, very intense, and if it was going to blow, it wouldn't have, but it didn't.
So you can hear it there. And during the radio, when they play the radio calls back and forth on television, you can hear a lot of the drivers talk about, hey, I'm starting to get a vibration. I'm starting to have this trouble. And usually that was about 35 laps or so into the race. So there are issues there. And what they're saying is that they're starting on these pressures too low, which is then doing the damage then, but you're not seeing that until the tire heats up and it builds that pressure, and then the tire blows or falls apart or whatever it's doing. That's what's happening. So they're trying to figure this out. Listen, Goodyear, NASCAR, the teams, they all have to get together and figure this out. Otherwise, look at this. I wrote this down. 16 cautions for 91 laps. Who wants to watch 91 laps under a yellow flag? No one. The fans don't deserve that, especially as hot as hell as it was in Texas with those fans sitting in the stands, them having to wait out that little storm there that they had, and just all the problems that were going on. 91 laps under caution is not a good race. No, it's not a good race. I will say there was a lot of drama. I want to get into the results here in a second, and I will. But I do want to talk about the drama between Denny Hamlin and William Byron. These two going at it. And listen, did Denny Hamlin kind of push him up into the wall, take a little room away, get him out in that dirty stuff, put him in the wall? Yes, that did happen. That is a racing incident, right? Okay. Then there's a caution that comes out, and Byron just slams into the back of him, sending him. Listen, caution comes out, you back off the pedal. You're slowing down the car. You may not be on the brakes, but you're slowing down the car. When you do that, and then you get this jolt of speed, the car will lose it at that point, and that's what happened to Denny. put him through the infield a little bit, and he got back in, and NASCAR said, hey, listen, you spun under the caution, which in Denny's, listen, giving him the benefit of the doubt, right? He was punted, for sure. He was punted. Under yellow, is that cool? I don't know. It shouldn't be done under yellow. It definitely shouldn't be done under green. There are ways to do it under green without punting somebody. And literally, he was punted off the track. And I guess I'd rather see that under yellow. But listen, you're under yellow for a reason, because something happened on track. There are track workers now, safety crews, other people are out there who don't have the same safety equipment that you do in that car. So if you're spinning people out, listen, just don't do it under the yellow, right? Okay. That being said, NASCAR did not see the incident happen, and that's a big problem too. NASCAR needs to figure that out. They flat out missed it, and I don't know how that happened. Is there going to be something come down for William Byron? It's a possibility, and I don't know. We may see that tomorrow, today, whatever it may be. It may come out before this show actually airs, so I apologize if that does happen. But the common denominator here is still Denny Hamlin. This guy is, listen, trouble finds me this. BS. You're getting that trouble because somewhere along the line, you're involved somewhere with some hard racing, and everybody knows you're a pain in the ass to race with. Just my opinion, right? I'm sure Denny Hamlin fans are going, this guy's nuts. What is Rob stupid? No, that's just how I feel when I look at the situation. The common denominator here is still Denny Hamlin. In all the issues that we've seen, Denny Hamlin has been there. Now, earlier in the season, I could have said, well, Ross Chastain is kind of the common denominator. Not right now. Denny Hamlin. So I'm going to take a break here. We're going to come back. We are going to get the results of the Cup race. I'll run down some points. We still got some news and rumors in F1 scheduling. Hurricane Ian could become a problem for the IMSA and the Petit Le Mans. We're going to get into all that. So stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. It's RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. All right, I might have been a little hard on Denny Hamlin in the last segment. That's all right, because that's my opinion, right? And we all have them, and we all know what they mean. If you got an opinion, agree, disagree, want to bring something up, I'll talk about it here on the show. Just email me, rob@racedaynation.com. Or you can do, DM me or something on social at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. We are building this show to talk to race fans where you guys can call in. We're going to start doing the show live. It may not be this year, but we will do that because I love interacting with the race fans. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing your opinions because everybody, it's great for the sport. Just like, we talked about Noah Gragson being that guy, that character. The fans are part of that as well. There's very passionate fans on that love Noah's very passionate way and his character. Some people like Denny Hamlin. Other people don't. Just saying. And I have my reasons, and I don't need to say it here on the show, but there are reasons for that, and I'm sure there are reasons why you like or dislike a certain driver. So I just want to hear from you guys. All right, we're going to run down the results for the Cup Series race at Texas. I mentioned Tyler Reddick getting the win. Here he is in the press room talking about that victory and what it means to get that third win of the season.
Pretty good. It was a chaotic night for us from what felt like the very get-go. We had so many just things not go right. It was I don't even know where to start. We had a lot of things not go our way, and at least 2 or 3 times I thought we were going to be crashing into the outside wall in turn 1, whether it was because the door foam came off, got in my steering wheel, or me and Brad got into each other and I got loose into one. There was a lot of things that just didn't really seem like they were going our way. Loose wheel. But it didn't seem to hold us down. I mean, our car was really strong, and we got some breaks along the way too, and I knew we had a strong car, but I didn't know how our night was going to finish after all the things that went wrong. So just great that we were able to put ourselves in that position, take 2 tires, and have a car strong enough to be able to hold on to the lead like that.
Well, it was very impressive, well-deserved. I had 2 road courses during the beginning of the season, or in the regular season, and now with a win here in the playoffs. Unfortunately, last week he was taken out of the playoffs, so he could have used this win a week ago, but that's how it goes. Speaking of that, Kyle Larson won stage 1. It was Ryan Blaney winning stage 2. Let me put up the graphic here and show the results. Tyler Reddick, your winner. Joey Logano, second. Justin Haley, great run for him. Third, Ryan Blaney. Fourth, Chase Briscoe. Eric Jones, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin round out the top 10. Denny was one of those guys that, man, had to come from the back many times to get back up there. He fought his way up there fair and square, and I thought he was going to pay a little paybacks to William Byron, but he did it. But he did, after the race, say, that's coming. So I'd hate to be that guy in the playoffs, still moving on, and get paid back in the end of the season. Oh, it's going to suck. And it's going to hurt bad. There's no doubt about that. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the points. I wanted to get into the Xfinity points and the Cup points and see how this is all shaken out. Who's in and who's in that bottom 4. It's Rob D'Amico. Race Day Nation continues right here on Racing America. Welcome back. This is Race Day Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, the show is presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Appreciate those guys coming on board. And thank you very much for tuning in today. We do appreciate it. All right. I was talking about the Xfinity Series earlier in the show. Didn't get the points. Talked about the Cup Series. Didn't get the points. So now we're going to do that. So right now we're going to take a look at the Xfinity Series. And you had Noah Gragson with another win. Congratulations to him. Here's where I'm getting very interested in the Xfinity Series. A.J. Allmendinger, who won the regular season championship by being very consistent. He may not have the wins like a Ty Gibbs or Noah Gragson, but he sits literally right in between those guys. He is only 26 points back from Noah, a point ahead of Ty Gibbs. And I think that's great. I love seeing that battle right there. I would love to see those 3 guys. And let me say, I'm sure Justin Allgaier's probably going to play out there a little bit, get up in there. Austin Hill being a rookie. Imagine if he goes to the Final 4. How cool would that be? But the guy I'm pulling for is the underdog. I love underdog stories, and I'd love to see Ryan Sieg get up in there and make that Final 4. Do I think he has a chance against some of these giant teams? No, but listen, it would make a great story, that Goliath and David and Goliath thing going on. So I just think it would be really cool to see Ryan Sieg up there. So Noah Gragson with 2,107 points. A.J. Allmendinger 26 back. Ty Gibbs 27 back. Austin Hill 43 back. Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier, Sam Mayer, Ryan Sieg. Those are your top 8 drivers right now. Riley Herbst, Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones, and Jeremy Clemens have the bottom 4 spots as we sit right now. And we have Talladega coming up. We have the Roval coming up. So there's a lot going on for these guys in the next few races that are really the unknown. And that's going to be tough on these guys because you wanted to get that win here at Texas, so you don't have to worry about moving on. So it'll be interesting to see how they play all that out. All right, some of the other things I want to talk about here was the NASCAR Cup Series points because that's getting interesting as well. That's starting to heat up. You saw Chase go into Texas with the lead in the points, but then, leading the race, I honestly thought, wow, Chase is going to win this race. He's going to catapult himself into the next round, be there ready for the top 8, get a win in that group, that round, and then move into the Final 4. But I got to be honest, it's not looking good. With the problems we've seen at Texas, I think that has thrown as much of a wrench to the system that Talladega and the Roval's going to do. This tire issue at Texas was a big part of some of the trouble these guys are going to be seeing. So let's take a look at the points right now in the Cup Series. Joey Logano is your leader, 3,071 points. Ross Chastain, second in points right now, only 12 points behind the leader, Joey Logano. William Byron with that duel with Denny Hamlin out there. He is 13 points back. Kyle Larson, 14 points back. Ryan Blaney, 15 points back. It is tight up at the top spots there. Denny Hamlin, then 22 back. Daniel Suarez still in the top 8. Chase Elliott is in the 8th position right now, barely in that. He's got 4 points separating him from Chase Briscoe, who is outside and in that bottom 4 guys. So it's Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Christopher Bell, and Alex Bowman sitting there in the bottom 4. Now, that being said, I would say that Christopher Bell's probably the guy that should not be that far down, right? He should be up in the top 8, if not the top 4. He should be there at the very end to see what, he is capable of doing. He's had some great runs. He's been having the same speed as some of these other teams. We have seen some issues, tires, power steering at Bristol. A lot of these guys hitting the wall. When they do tap the wall and it doesn't look like a major hit, sometimes the way they're hitting, toe links are going out. So we're seeing the what we thought was a really strong competitive car, maybe with some of these tracks, some of the tire issues, some of the parts that maybe they are trying to do different things to. We may be seeing a part of that. And NASCAR is probably going to have to look at some of these cars when they bring them back to the R&D center and what to look for. So that'll get interesting over that. But again, Chase Elliott could be in trouble. Christopher Bell, a guy who was strong early, could be in trouble. And some of the guys that I didn't think were going to be up there, sitting up there, like a Ross Chastain by now, I thought maybe could fall out. Daniel Suarez, another guy. William Byron, I honestly didn't think he would be up as high as he is right now, but he is. So some great stuff going on. Again, the unknown, Talladega and the Roval coming up. So we'll see how this all plays out. Okay, going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to be talking about news and rumors, F1 schedule, the Cup schedule, all that great stuff is coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. Stick around. Welcome back. Rob D'Amico, RaceDay Nation, right here on Racing America. We appreciate it whether you're watching on the television network or through YouTube or our website or just listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You get all this information, again, on our website at racedaynation.com. Thank you so much. I'm Rob D'Amico. You can follow along with me as well at Rob D'Amico. That's ROBDAMICO. All right. I am tight on time here, so I'm going to get through the F1 news and rumors. And some of them is that, one, we're going to be at Singapore this coming weekend, first time since 2019. We also, they dropped their 24-race schedule. It's confirmed for 2023. Preseason testing going on will be February 23rd through the 25th at Bahrain. No French Grand Prix on that one. And 3, that's right, 3, count them, U.S. races, which is awesome for everyone here in the U.S. Max Verstappen could win the championship. All he's got to do is get the race win, and he leads the points with 138 points, meaning the only a victory will do. If Verstappen wins, then Leclerc needs to finish at least 8th to stop him, which he's probably going to do, right? So I don't think it's going to happen here unless Leclerc has a problem, and that takes him out of the race. Then Verstappen then has the opportunity to go get the win and win that championship, I think, with like 6 races left in the season. Yuki Tsunoda, he re-signs with AlphaTauri for 2023. Pierre Gasly, we don't know what's going to happen there. Is he coming back? There is interest about bringing IndyCar driver Colton Herta over. So we'll see how all that plays out. Nicholas Latifi is saying goodbye to Williams at the end of the season. So who's going to take his place? A couple drivers, Nick DeVries, Logan Sargent, Antonio Giovinazzi, and then Mick Schumacher. That's easy for me to say, right? All right, that's it on news and rumors with the NASCAR, with the F1 stuff, with NASCAR. Jimmy Johnson, IndyCar, I should say, with Jimmy Johnson saying he's going to step down from his full-time ride in the IndyCar and retire from racing full-time. But he does have a kind of a bucket list of 10 events maybe he wants to do. What might those be? We'll have to see how that all plays out. I mentioned it earlier in the show. Scott Miller, a NASCAR senior vice president of competition, came out and said, hey, listen, we flat out missed the Denny Hamlin, William Byron incident under yellow. Our bad. Let's see if they do something to fix that. Also, Shane Van, I think it's Geisbergen. It's easy again for me to say. He's the Supercross wild child. He looks like he may be coming to NASCAR to race that Chevy Camaro ZL1 for the Trackhouse Racing. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. All right, I'm going to take a break because I do want to come back. I want to talk about the NASCAR 2023 schedule, and I got to close out the show. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. This is RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico again, short on time, but we're going to get to all this before we head out here. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. We do appreciate it. Don't forget, check us out on our website. We appreciate you going there and joining the newsletter at RaceDayNation.com. You're going to have the show there, the YouTube. Subscribe to our channels. Follow us on social. Sign up for the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. And sign up for the newsletter. That's so I can keep in contact with you guys. Helps build the database, keep connected with you, interact with the show until we go live with the live shows and all that. That's what I'm looking to do. All right, NASCAR 2023 schedule. I want to get this up on the screen because I want you guys to see it. You can see it starts in February with the Clash, runs down Daytona 500. Nothing really major here. Atlanta, the second part of the season there. You still have Darlington. You got the North Wilkesboro with the All-Star Race, Worldwide Technology Raceway, which is awesome. Nashville on there still. Chicago Street Race, that's big. There's Atlanta's second race. And then you also have the last part of the season with the playoffs, Darlington, Kansas, Bristol, Texas, Talladega, the Roval, Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville, and then Phoenix with the championship again. Don't forget, we have IMSA racing coming up, and that could be affected by the hurricane Ian, which is should be Friday and Saturday coming up through the Georgia area. So we do expect a lot of rain. I don't expect them to cancel anything. If they do, it'll be qualifying. FAF racing, all they got to do is start the race, and they win in GTD. There is a great battle between the Acuras for DPI. I think another battle will be the Corvette and the Lexus in the GTD Pro. In the GTM, or I should say just GTD, I guess it would be the Aston Martin, I think the Porsche and the AMG battling it out there. So some great stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on social at Rob D'Amico, ROBDAMICO. For all of us here at RaceDay Nation, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you here next week.